Hello, everyone. This is part 7 of the construction services and the design. And today we'll talk about the life cycle costing and constructability review in this lecture here. So the basic definition of the life cycle cost here is a sustainable design for an integrated approach that considers all phases of a facility from construction to operating and eventually to renovation, reuse, and demolish. The life cycle cost or costing is important due to it's important in increasing the energy cost, depletion of raw material, and a growing awareness toward the conservation of environmental stewardship. So the life cycle costing helps the team decide on the design options, site locations, material used in the building, and money invested in the system. As you can see here from these options, a lot of parties actually are impacted by those. So the design options, yes, it creates more work on the designer on their end, but it offers more options to the owner to be able to select and choose. And for site location, that's if we're talking about green construction and building seeking leads, then definitely this is one of the options that life cycle cost helps in that. And material use, so if you use recyclable material or eco-friendly material, then probably that will add to the lead sort type of project, and so on and so forth. So life cycle costing could be used for new construction and renovated projects. For renovated projects, your first assumption is, will you need to demolish the building entirely, or is it worth it to keep it? And if you decide on the latter option, then how extensively would you go with your renovation? See, the goal here is to offer more options to the owner in terms of saving money and some options to choose from. As far as the constructability review, again, a constructability review is very powerful, and that's why we always promote for constructors to be involved at early stage of a project during the design phase, if you will. And the traditional method is always the construction means and method are left for the contractor to figure out during the construction phase, which leaves them under a lot of struggle because the architect just came up with the design and it's all left for the builder to build it. So in the traditional method, which is design, bid, build, this is the case, which is not very effective. But through other delivery methods like design bid, design build, and IPD and construction management and other delivery methods, then constructability review is highly recommended. Well, to reduce a lot of safety issues, to improve the fast tracking, and a lot of other options that could offer, but the constructor must be brought in at the early stage in the project. So from this slide and on, this is kind of a recovery for chapter 6 and over the stuff that we have pretty much talked about and covered. So during pre-construction, the architect or the engineer is selected and assigned responsibilities. Then we do site analysis and evaluation. Then we determine the site investigation, code and zoning, and how they all work together. Then we do system analysis or analyses to determine the type of foundation being built with the recommendation from the PM or the estimator. And then the skin and the MEP interior and interior finishes and so forth. Then we conduct value engineering, life cycle cost analysis. Then we talked about the constructability reviews and analysis, the scope definition, design phasing and coordination, and the pricing. Then the solicitation, the instrumentation of selection um, of your bidders, or the type of delivery that we would use for our project, and then the purchasing and the scope management and the document equality, design support assistance, project planning, and the long lead items that must be ordered before the construction starts, because they get either shipped from overseas, or these materials are assembled and fabricated offsite, and they must be brought in to the inside. And then we talked about some of the logistic and phasing, the work packages, and so on and so forth. So this here, the diagram here shows you how we typically look at work packages. Now, this is, of course, the example here is very general, and from project to project it varies. But this is kind of pie chart. Helps when you do your presentations to the owner, then you can talk more about it. So with that, that concludes chapter 6, and I wish